Okay, so I've been seeing a lot of Christians and conservatives wringing their hands over Amber Rose speaking at the RNC. So I got to address that. I got to address my fellow Christians and conservatives. So first of all, for the last 6 decades, the church and conservatives did nothing as the left took over every sphere of American society. From media, education, entertainment, business, the family, every area of American society, every area of influence in this nation has been taken over by the left with very little or no resistance from the church or conservatives over the last 60 years. If you want to know why there's so much moral decay in this country, look in the mirror if you're a Christian and conservative. The reason why this country is where it is today is because of us, Christians and conservatives, because we have failed to disciple this nation in the way it should go. We are called to disciple this nation. We were called to steward this nation in the right way, but we did nothing. They took the Bible out of the school. They've done all these things with very little to no resistance from the church. So now you fast forward to 2024. And the very people that we have failed to disciple in this nation, people like Amber Rose, are now the people that are starting to wake up. And yet, the very Christians that failed to disciple this nation and failed to teach this nation in the way it should go as we are called to do by Christ, the very same Christians are now condemning her and looking down on her. That is a Pharisee spirit, folks. And that is a spirit that we need to set aside. If you want to know why the country is where it is today, it's because of us, Christians and conservatives. So you need to look in the mirror and understand that it is not 1990 anymore. So you're not going to save this country from the hell that we have allowed it to descend into by shutting out the very people that we were supposed to disciple and influence as we are called to do by Christ. So please, just stop with the Pharisee spirit. Come to grips with the fact that it is 2024. It's not 1994 anymore. So this country has changed. And it has changed because we have failed to do what we are called to do as Christians and conservatives. So we have to live with it. We have to live with it. So when someone like Amber Rose, who has been discipled by the left, begins to wake up and begins to start having a revelation of truth, we're not supposed to just shut her out because of that. We're supposed to invite her into the fold because she is on a journey of awakening. She just had a revelation of truth in the political sphere and now understands that she was under a deception. So obviously she's under a deception when it comes to exposing herself and OnlyFans, and that is something that she's going to come into a revelation of truth. So why should we condemn her? Why should we say we're too good for her, like the Pharisees did? Jesus Christ was reaching out to the prostitutes, the sinners, and all the people that the Pharisees said were not good enough to come into the fold. But Jesus Christ was reaching out to those people while they were yet sinners. Christ was reaching out to them. And it was through his love, through the revelation of the truth, that they actually began to repent. So I am happy that Amber Rose has woken up and she stood up there and said that I was deceived about Trump. She has gone through a journey of awakening. And so we're supposed to shut her out now because she's not good enough, because she did some bad stuff, because she's not somebody who is conservative enough for us. The reason she's the way she is and the reason why most of the country is now the way it is because we as Christians and conservatives have failed to disciple this nation. We have failed to disciple the schools. We allowed the left to take over and teach children and teach a generation of people to be godless, to be anti-family, to be anti-Christ, to be pro-feminism, pro-abortion. That didn't happen by accident. It's because we left those spheres of influence. 50 years ago, the church had influence in every sphere of society, whether it was education, media, entertainment, business, every sphere of society 50 years ago, the church had influence. But we gave up that influence. We just decided to enjoy our churches, just close ourselves in our churches and enjoy the freedom and prosperity that other people fought for. And we failed to steward this nation. We failed to disciple this nation in the way it should go. We failed to influence education. We failed to influence media and entertainment and all of that. The left is the one that did it. The left is the one that was doing what the devil was telling them to do, to influence the next generation of Americans. And we failed to do that. So we have to live with it. So instead of condemning those people that we have failed, we should be bringing them in as they begin their journey of awakening. We should be discipling the nation in the way it should go. We should be more like Christ and reach out to these people as they begin to awaken. Because otherwise, really what it is a Pharisee spirit on the right. It's a Pharisee spirit on the right. That's the never Trump Pharisee spirit. Oh, Trump is not pure enough. Oh, he has to be perfect for me. He has to check all my boxes. He has to be perfect on abortion. He has to be exactly like, well, what work have we as the church done to influence the nation and to convince the nation on what it means to be pro-life? What work have we done to steward this nation and to teach them in the right way? Are we in education? No. The left has taken over education. Are we in media and entertainment? Now we're starting, but we basically took all that away. So the Pharisee spirit needs to be set aside, because it's no different. The Pharisee spirit on the right is no different than the Jezebel spirit on the left. It is the same spirit, and it's not of God. So we have to come to grips with where we are as a nation. We have to be realistic. We have to be honest about the failure that we have been as Christians and conservatives. And I'm guilty too. I've been enjoying the freedom and prosperity in this nation. Didn't really do much politically or in any sphere, but I'm starting to wake up and starting to believe that I have to do something, because freedom is not free. And we're not going to save this country by shutting out the very people that we have failed to influence, the very people that we have failed to disciple as we are called to do by Christ. So that's my piece on that. And people can hate me for it, and that's fine, but I just had to say something about it. Anyway, signing off.